How could the Jedi mind trick not be a function of Yang? Let's review the attributes of Yang, shall we? Those upon the path of Yang tend to be rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. Specifically, they are rigid, they are controlling, and they are elitist. Now, well, doesn't that seem like the Jedi mind trick? After all, you're forcing your will onto someone else, making them do something they don't want to do. My God, that sounds like Yang to me. But wait, have you... Oops, I got ahead of myself. There we go. Have you ever seen a Sith Lord depicted as successfully practicing the Jedi mind trick? Not metaphorically, not from a certain point of view, but literally. Have you ever seen Darth Maul in any of the animated series successfully use the Jedi mind trick? No. Why is that? Well, we're going to begin by reviewing the attributes of Yin. Those upon the path of Yin tend to be flexible, loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. Specifically, flexible, laid back, egalitarian. Well, what has that to do with forcing your will upon someone else? Hang in there. Literal Yin is seductive. And we're going to deal with some archetypes, and of course, all archetypes, all generalities break down when you get to specificity, but we're going to keep it general because that's how it works best. Generally speaking, Yang, aggressive, Yang, finds Yin to be irresistible. That is a great irony, often observed. So is figurative Yin. So not only do many men find many women to be alluring, likewise, anyone, regardless of their gender, who is on the path of Yang is going to find those on the path of Yin to be alluring, to be seductive. Even those upon the path of Yin superficially are going to find those who are more deeply on the path of Yin to be seductive. Consider, if you will, the Jedi most famous for practicing the Jedi mind trick, Obi-Wan Kenobi. These are not, what was it? These are not the droids you're looking for. Compared to a Mace Windu, compared to an Anakin Skywalker, could it not be said that Obi-Wan Kenobi is relatively more Yin than they? What was the lightsaber form that Obi-Wan was the leading master of? It was the defensive one, the softest one, the most subtle one, arguably speaking. One of my teachers was described by the press as being a blend between a white fluffy cloud and a bulldozer. Now, this doesn't mean he was like Darth Sidious trying to manipulate people. Au contraire. There is a way of practicing Yin, which some of the Tibetan teachers would describe as the spontaneous fulfillment of wishes. Let's take a deeper dive. How is Yin cultivated powerfully? Through mindfulness of desire. Let's take a deeper dive into mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we access our sympathetic nervous system, which is ensconced within the thoracic region of our spinal cord and which is wired to not support active concentration, which is yang, but instead to support perception, which is yin, especially perception that is vulnerable, passive, visceral, and random. This could be summarized by the rather clunky 12-syllable phrase, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. How can mind be turbulent? What are some of the antics of mind? Well, mind perceives. Mind perceives sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. But mind does more than perceive. Mind also emotes, intends, reasons, recalls, and imagines. So, and remember, we're doing these things vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. We are allowing these things to happen. We're not the writer of the play. We're not the director of the play. We're not the performer of the play. We're not the producer of the play. We're just some bloke what sits in the audience watching the play. So the key to the generation of powerful yin is through the mindfulness of desire, but then also through the release of desire. But how does that work? It works through meditation. Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we're accessing our parasympathetic nervous system, which is ensconced within both the lower lumbar region of our spinal cord as well as the tippy top of the cervical region. It's wired to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release, as is summarized by the 12-syllable phrase, by exhalation's 12-syllable phrase, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. So, in review, yin is seductive. We automatically cultivate yin by noticing what we are desiring, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly, as we inhale, and by releasing what we desire as we physically relax into our exhalation. I feel like a good commentary on tonight's lesson would be the 11th verse of the source text of Dzogchen, the total space of Vajrasattva, composed in the 600s. I think the 6th or the 5th century in the Swat Valley of Afghanistan. The cause is the Vajra, as are the secondary conditions. Never having been born, it cannot be destroyed. Since it is the Bodhi essence that exists from the beginning, the ultimate dimension is not moved by the effort of thought. We are not on the path of yang. We are not trying to make things happen. Each of us, every healthy, complex animal on this planet has, in one form or another, a Buddha nature. The physiological components that support empathy, the physiological components that support awareness, and the physiological components that support release. By playing with these, by cooperating with these, by ceasing to get in our own way, we are freed of the burden of having to make things happen, and we can allow things happen. The highest love is spontaneous and uncontrived, and by allowing our choices, utterances, and deeds to flow from love-centered spontaneity upon this path of yin, our life becomes a heaven on earth. I look forward to chanting and meditating with you after about 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation, a guy with expertise in each school of Buddhism, but a very limited wardrobe. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Tonight's sadhana, or practice text, is known as the Praises and Requests to the 21 Taras. It is compiled from traditional sources by Ani Tobten Chodron. It has been both adapted and amplified by yours truly. Let us sidestep aloofness through the recitation of the four immeasurables together. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging, freed. Fabulous. Whoopsie. So how do we make that happen? By reversing the path outlined in the recitation of bodhicitta and refuge. We're going to practice two recitations. The first is much more literal, and we're going to set this recitation to the triplet chant together. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging, by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. I just had a terrible thought. What if none of this is being recorded? Let me make sure the mic's on. Testing, testing. Wunderbar. Das ist wunderbar. Okay, so consider, if you will, this bit, these three words that are highlighted. Many people have found these to be so useful that they earned the metaphoric nickname of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. We are now going to perform a more concise and more figurative version of the same exercise. We're setting this recitation to the bookend chant, which is our go-to chant for the remainder of the practice text. Together. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. So now, together as a team, let us meditate as transformatively as... Oops, I have the wrong piece of art displayed here. Sorry about that, kids. Anyway, let us meditate as transformatively as General Leia Organa on Ajam Kloss under the guidance of Luke Skywalker. As children, our primary or secondary caregiver probably bolted a pair of training wheels onto our bicycle. It was clunky, but it got the job done. Similarly, our first meditation is going to be clunky. As we breathe in, please silently and mentally recite perceiving this very turbulent play of mind, whatever it might be. And as we exhale, please silently and mentally recite relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. Now let us practice now it's time for a centering exercise. There we go. Let's chant. I am in my ordinary form, and my heart manifests a white. Syllable are made of light. This transforms into a white moon disk, the size of a thumbnail. At its center manifests a green syllable tongue. The essence of the blissful omniscient mind of wisdom and uncompassion of Tara. The archetype of centered spontaneity's enlightened action. And now, let's remove the first of two metaphoric training wheels by reducing our meditation from 12 syllables down to just 3. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite, notice this. During our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite, relaxing. This works fine, but sometimes, folks, just sometimes, it can feel like life is beating at us up, like life is trying to drown us in the bathtub. And when that happens, we really can't stop what's happening, but we can find a way to harness it, to make it work for us, typically through the use of labels. Labels such as appearance, resonance, sensation, flavor, fragrance, emotion, intention, cognition, recollect, and imagine. So right now I'm feeling physical discomfort. So as I breathe in, I'm going to silently and mentally recite sensation. And as I exhale, I'm going to silently and mentally recite relaxing. Together, standing logwise around the edge of the moon, manifest the syllables of the mantra Tare Dare Dure Soha made of green light. From the syllable tom rainbow-colored light radiate in all directions, and invokes Tara to manifest in the space in front of me. She is seated on a lotus reminiscent of purifying wisdom, and Moon's cushion reminiscent of cooling compassion. Her body is made of emerald green light reminiscent of the speed and power of the wind element. For the enlightened activity of centered spontaneity is quick to act. Youthful and exquisitely beautiful, her body reminds us that love beautifies. Her right hand on her right knee is in the gesture of giving. Her left hand at her heart, left thumb touching ring finger in the gesture of refuge. And holds the stem of a blue wood pala flower that blooms by her ear, reminiscent of Mila hearkening to the whispers of the Dharmakaya. Her left leg is drawn in Her left leg is drawn in reminiscent of wishing love, and her right leg is slightly extended, reminiscent of kind communication, conduct, and commerce. Her face is very beautiful, and she shines with loving kindness to all sentient beings. Oh, I got the word smile confused. Let's try this again. Her face is very beautiful, and she smiles with loving kindness to all sentient beings, even the ones that vote the way she wished they wouldn't. Surrounding her in space manifest 21 other Tatas, as well as all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Surrounding us are all sentient beings. We lead them in practicing their meditations, contemplations, and requests. Streams of radiant and blissful green light from the atomic mantra syllables at Tara's heart flow into me and into all sentient beings surrounding me. This light purifies the imprint of all negative actions and dispels all sicknesses and interferences. In addition, it brings inspiration and blessings from Tara, thus enabling all to quickly master the Eightfold Path of Enlightenment. Thus passively contemplating mindfulness, wishing love, and the wisdom of letting go, I relax into the whispered recitation of Tara's 10-syllable mantra. Om to the transcended Subdurer Arya Tara I bow. Homage to the glorious one who frees with Tare. With Tutare you calm all dangers, you bestow all success with Ture. With the sound of Soha may it be so. Now let us use mantra meditation to contemplate love. Let us begin by leaping over mental competition. Please chant with me. May all minds of all beings know be as wise and peaceful is the mind of a Buddha of law such as green Tara. Symbolized by a one-syllable seed bija mantra such as Tamoti clay drop. So we just chanted a rather lengthy intention, a loving wish, if you will. We're now going to silently and mentally recite the concise version of the same wish as we breathe in. And as we exhale, we're going to physically relax as best we can into the whispered recitation, into the chanted recitation of this 10-syllable mantra. Om tare tu tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha. Om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha. I love this part right here. It's like a little hi-hat in the drum kit. Om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha. Om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha. Now let us remove the second of two metaphoric training wheels, transitioning from 3-syllable meditations to 1-syllable meditations. As we breathe in, we can silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, and as we exhale, we can silently and mentally recite the monosyllabic verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax. Now, of course, transitioning 10 labels from the 3-syllable paradigm to a 1-syllable paradigm is going to require a smidgen, if you will, of poetic license. So we could use the label form to communicate physical sensations and the label feel to communicate emotional sensations. We could use the preposition then to describe recollection, and the verb dream to describe imagination. You'll notice these labels are somewhat vague. This is done to cultivate the non-duality. The non-duality that does not fall into the trap of determining between beautiful or ugly, but simply describes things as appearance. Between happy and sad, just describes things as emotion. Now, if I'm really clever, I will remember to copy this. Now, let us leap over into personal competition. May all relationships of all beings now be as loving and joyful as a real or imagined Buddha's communication symbolized by this 10-syllable mantra. Let's see, we're going to put this here. Om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha, om tare tu re swaha. Om Dari Tari Duri Swaha 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 Om Dadit Dadi 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 Duri Swaha. Well, that's convenient. Well, if that's the case, I can resequence that. Oopsie. May all bodies of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddhist art. Of the blissful body of a yidam of lore and archetype of enlightenment such as Green Tara. Om Tari Tari. Let's try this again. Om Tari Tari Duri Swaha 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 Om Dadit Dadi 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 Duri Swaha May all circumstances, all lots of all beings now have the safety, good fortune, or boon, as a real or imagined Buddha's paradise, pure land of Vati. Om Dari Tari Duri Swaha 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 Dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom. Dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom. Dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom dadit dadit duris wahom. Now let us leap over our clinging tendencies. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we notice during our previous inhalation could feel as not graspable as a vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although compelling to the eye is not graspable to the hand. So now we're going to play with 8 rhetorical questions. 4 extensive and verbal, and 4 concise and silent. How is it that as we inhale all circumstances our lots could appear quite vivid? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as not graspable as a real or imagined paradise or body of light. Daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home. Daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home. Daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home. Daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home, daddy to daddy do this home. How is it that as we inhale our bodies, our forms could feel quite sensual? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as not graspable as a real or imagined archetype or yedam of light. Dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha. Dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha. Dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha. Dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha dade dade dure swaha. How is How is it that as we inhale the interpersonal experience of communication or speech could be quite resounding? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as not graspable as a real or imagined mantra of light. Darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham. Darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham. Darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham. Darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham darit darit duris waham. How is it that as we inhale we could experience all minds, perceptions, emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings quite clearly? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non graspable as a real or imagined considerable time of light. Dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom. Dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom. Dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom. Dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom dadit dadit udis wahom. Hence the homage to the 21 Taras. Oh, I bow to the noble transcendent liberator. Oh, I bow to the noble transcendent liberator. Oh, I bow to the noble transcendent liberator. Jedi, swift and fearless, with us like a flash of lightning. Lotus born within in an ocean of tears, of generous three worlds protector. Jedi, swift and fearless, with us like a flash of lightning. Lotus born in an ocean of tears, of generous three worlds protector. Jedi, swift and fearless, with us like a flash of lightning. Lotus born in an ocean of tears, of generous three worlds protector. Homage to you, whose face is like 100 autumn moons gathered, and blazes with the dazzling light of 1,000 constellations. Homage to you, whose base is like 100 autumn moons gathered, and blazes with the dazzling light of 1,000 constellations. Homage to you, whose base is like 100 autumn moons gathered, and blazes with the dazzling light of 1,000 constellations. Homage you born from Morgul blue lotus, hand adorned with a lotus flower. Essence of giving, non-violence, patience, your mindfulness and wisdom. Homage you born from Morgul blue lotus, hand adorned with a lotus flower. Essence of giving, non-violence, patience, your mindfulness and wisdom. Homage you born from Morgul blue lotus, hand adorned with a lotus flower. Essence of giving, non-violence, patience, your mindfulness and wisdom. Homage you who crown all Buddhas, whose actions subdues without limit. Attain to every perfection, on you the Bodhisattvas rely. Homage you who crown all Buddhas, whose actions subdues without limit. Attain to every perfection, on you the Bodhisattvas rely. Homage you who crown all Buddhas, whose actions subdues without limit. Attain to every perfection, on you the Bodhisattvas rely. Homage you whose Chutara, in whom fill the realms of desire for man's space. You crush 7 worlds beneath your feet, and have power to call all forces. Homage you whose Chutara, in whom fill the realms of desire for man's space. You crush 7 worlds beneath your feet, and have power to call all forces. Homage you whose Chutara, and whom fill the realms of desire for man's space. You crush 7 worlds beneath your feet, and have power to call all forces. Homage to you who are adorned by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Vayu, and Ishvara, praised and sung by hosts of spirits, zombies, anteaters, and yakshas. Homage to you adorned by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Vayu, and Ishvara, praised and sung by hosts of spirits, zombies, anteaters, and yakshas. Homage to you adored by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Vayu, and Ishvara, praised and sung by hosts of spirits, zombies, anteaters, and yakshas. Homage to you who slay and pay destroy external wheels of magic. Right leg drawn in and left extended, you blaze within a raging fire. Homage to you who slay and pay destroy external wheels of magic. Right leg drawn in and left extended, you blaze within a raging fire. Homage to you who stray and pay destroy external wheels of magic. Right leg drawn in and left extended, you blaze within a raging fire. Homage to you whose duty destroys a great fierce almighty demons. With a wrathful frown on your lotus face, you slay your foes without exception. Homage to you whose duty destroys a great fierce almighty demons. With a wrathful frown on your lotus face, you slay your foes without exception. Homage to you whose duty destroys a great fierce almighty demons. With a wrathful frown on your lotus face, you slay your foes without exception. Welcome to this evening's practice. If at any point you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Homage to you beautifully adorned by the three jewels gesture at your heart. You will shine in all directions with a whirling mass of light. Homage to you beautifully adorned by the three jewels gesture at your heart. You will shine in all directions with a whirling mass of light. Homage to you beautifully adorned by the three jewels gesture at your heart. You will shine in all directions with a whirling mass of light. Simply put, as you breathe in, you could effortlessly perceive as silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this. During each exhalation, you could automatically relax and release as silently and mentally recite the monosyllabic verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax. Homage to you, radiant and joyful, whose crown emits a golden dove light. You bow the laughter of Tutada, conquer demons and lords of the world. Homage to you, radiant and joyful, whose crown emits a golden dove light. You bow the laughter of Tutada, conquer demons and lords of the world. Homage to you, radiant and joyful, whose crown emits a golden dove light. You bow the laughter of Tutada, conquer demons and lords of the world. Homage to you, with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors, with your fist round and vibrating, whom you bring freedom from all poverty. Almost you with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors. With your fierce round and vibrating, whom you bring freedom from all poverty. Almost you with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors. With your fierce round and vibrating, whom you bring freedom from all poverty. I'll measure you with crescent moon crown, all your adornments dazzling bright. From your head not Amitabha shines eternal with great beams of light. I'll measure you with crescent moon crown, all your adornments dazzling bright. From your hair not Amitabha shines eternal with great beams of light. I'll measure you with crescent moon crown, all your adornments dazzling bright. From your hair not Amitabha shines eternal with great beams of light. I'll measure you who dwell in a blazing wreath like the fire in the end of this age. Your right leg outstretched and left rod and joy surrounds you who defeat hosts of foes. I'll measure you who dwell in a blazing wreath like the fire in the end of this age. Your right leg outstretched and left rod and joy surrounds you who defeat hosts of foes. I'll measure you who dwell in a blazing wreath like the fire in the end of this age. Your right leg outstretched and left rod in joy surrounds you who defeat hosts of foes. I'll measure you whose footsteps the earth and his palm strikes are ground by your side. With a wrathful glance and the citadel whom you subdue all in the 7 stages. I'll measure you whose footsteps the earth and his palm strikes are crowned by your side. With a wrathful glance and the citadel whom you subdue all in the 7 stages. I'll measure you whose footsteps the earth and his palm strikes are crowned by your side. With a wrathful glance and the citadel whom you subdue all in the 7 stages. I'll measure the blissful virtuous peaceful one object of practice nirvana's peace. Perfectly endowed with so high and overcoming all the great evils. I'll measure the blissful virtuous peaceful one object of practice nirvana's peace, perfectly endowed with swaha and overcoming all the great evils. I'll measure the blissful virtuous peaceful one object of practice nirvana's peace, perfectly endowed with swaha and overcoming all the great evils. Homage to you with joyous retinue, you subdue fully all enemies' forms. The ten-syllable mantra adorns your heart and your knowledge, whom gives liberation. Homage to you with joyous retinue, you subdue fully all enemies' forms. The ten-syllable mantra adorns your heart and your knowledge, whom gives liberation. Homage to you with joyous retinue, you subdue fully all enemies' forms. The ten-syllable mantra adorns your heart and your knowledge, whom gives liberation. Homage to Dure with stomping feet, whose essence is the seed syllable. You cause memory, mandata, and vinja, and all the three worlds to tremble and shake. Homage to Dure with stomping feet, whose essence is the seed syllable. You cause memory, mandata, vinja, and all the three worlds to tremble and shake. Homage to Dure with stomping feet, whose essence is the seed syllable. You cause memory, mandata, vinja, and all the three worlds to tremble and shake. Homage to you who hold in your hand a moon like a celestial lake. Sing Tara twice and the syllable pay you dispel all poisons without exemption. Homage to you who hold in your hand a moon like a celestial lake. Sing Tara twice and the syllable pay you dispel all poisons without exemption. Homage to you who hold in your hand a moon like a celestial lake. Sing Tara twice and the syllable pay you dispel all poisons without exception. Homage to you on whom the kings of gods, the gods themselves, and all spirits rely. Your armor radiates joy to all you, soothe conflicts and nightmares as well. Homage to you on whom the kings of gods, the gods themselves, and all spirits rely. Your armor radiates joy to all you, soothe conflicts and nightmares as well. Homage to you on whom the kings of gods, the gods themselves, and all spirits rely. Your armor radiates joy to all you, soothe conflicts and nightmares as well. Homage to you whose eyes like the sun and moon radiate with pure brilliant light, uttering Hara twice unto Tara dispels extremely fearful for some plagues. Homage to you whose eyes like the sun and moon radiate with pure brilliant light, uttering Hara twice unto Tara dispels extremely for some plagues. Homage to you whose eyes like the sun and moon radiate with pure brilliant light, uttering hot at once and taught at dispels extremely fearsome plagues. Homage to you, adorned with three natures, perfectly endowed with peaceful strength. You destroy demons, zombies, and yakshas, Odure, most exalted and sublime. Homage to you, adorned with three natures, perfectly endowed with peaceful strength. You destroy demons, zombies, and yakshas, Odure, most exalted and sublime. Homage to you, adorned with three natures, perfectly endowed with peaceful strength. You destroy demons, zombies, and yakshas, Odure, most exalted and sublime. Thus a rude mantra is praised in the 21 homages often. Thus a rude mantra is praised in the 21 homages often. Thus a rude mantra is praised in the 21 homages often. O compassionate and venerable subduer, may infinite beings, including myself, purify the two obscurations of jealousy and pride, and complete both trainings of love and wisdom, so that we may attain full enlightenment. So that I may become fully omniscient, please pacify quickly all obstacles, interferences, obstructions, epidemics, diseases, and so forth. The various causes of untimely death, bad dreams, and ill omens, the 8 fearsome things and other afflictions, that they may no longer exist. May the mundane and supramundane collections of all excellent and auspicious qualities and happiness increase and develop. And may all beneficial wishes be fulfilled naturally and effortlessly without exception. May I strive to realize and increase the sacred Dharma, accomplishing your stage of Tantra and beholding your sublime face. May my understanding of the metaphor of emptiness that aids in letting go, and the precious altruistic intention increase like the moon waxing full. May I be reborn from an extremely beautiful and holy lotus, in the joyous and noble mandala of the Conqueror. May I attain the whatever prophecy I receive in the presence of Amitabha. Take 2. May I attain whatever prophecy I receive in the presence of Amitabha, Buddha of limitless light. O deity whom I have accomplished from previous lives, the enlightening influence of the three-time Buddhas. Blue-green one face and two arms of pacifier. O mother holding Anupala lotus, may you be auspicious. Whatever your body, O mother of conquerors, whatever your retinue lies spent in pure land, whatever your name most noble and holy, may I and all others attain only these. By the force of these praises and requests made to you, may all disease, poverty, fighting, and quarrels be calmed. May the precious Dharma and everything auspicious increase throughout the world and directions where I and all others dwell. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up or even help support this channel. In approximately 10 and 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.